Yo ho ho, Don Mafia. Welcome to yet another edition of the Don Mafia Report as we prepare for our beloved Buffalo Bills to face off against the Tennessee Petri Dishes. In all honesty, I do mean the Tennessee Titans, but I think the nickname I just gave them is warranted. Right now, we have no idea whether or not this game is going to happen. If you were to ask me, I have a feeling it's going to be switched over to Monday or Tuesday, and then the Thursday night game against the Chiefs will be pushed to either Saturday or Sunday. At the time of this recording, I absolutely have no idea, but just for the sake of remaining consistent, we got to dive into the preview, baby. As usual, we are going to be breaking down exactly how I think the Buffalo Bills defense is going to perform against the Tennessee Titans offense, and then vice versa, how the Bills offense is going to be stacking up right against the Tennessee Titans defense, and then maybe a little bit of special teams as well. And so right before we dive into it, I need to give a giant shout out to today's sponsor, and that is none other than Tavour. If you are a craft beer lover and you do not have Tavour downloaded on your phone right now, clearly, you're a damn poser. This company allows you to look through some of the rarest craft beers in the United States, and then they send it to your front doorstep. It's super easy. And so what you do is simply download the app and then scroll through some of your favorite beers, choose what you want, and then Tavour will package it up nicely and put it right on your damn front doorstep, revolutionizing the beer run. What makes it even better is that Tavour is hooking up the Don Mafia. Once you download the app, make sure to put in the code Don Mafia, and Tavour will hook you up with $10 off after you spend your first $25. It's basically like I am buying you a beer, and frankly, who doesn't want that? And without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's go on ahead and dive in. So this matchup is going to be interesting. I want to start off with the Buffalo Bills defense going up against the Tennessee Titans offense. Now, when you look at the Tennessee Titans offense, you think of two things. You think of a power running offense, and so you also look at a play action offense. There's no question that the Tennessee Titans are about to be heavily relying on Derrick Henry, as they should. He's one of the best running backs in the entire league. And this is going to cause a lot of stress on our linebackers and basically the entire defense in general. I mean, listen, legitimately, we need to have our entire defense having their gap integrity. We need linebackers to be able to make tackles. And with the whole question mark of whether or not that Matt Milano is going to be able to play this game, I have a feeling that it is going to be tough, especially since AJ Klein really hasn't been the best, for lack of a better term. I mean, the guy has struggled tremendously in pass coverage, and I mean, he just looks slow out there. So I have a feeling that the Titans are about to go on ahead, and they are about to sort of pick on that middle of the field and then really let Derrick Henry run away, unless our defense from 2019 comes right back and we do what we did to Derrick Henry last year. But definitely be on the lookout for Tennessee to run the damn ball. And so it's definitely interesting because we want to focus on stopping Derrick Henry, not only because of the pure talent that running back has, but we cannot let Ryan Tannehill establish play action, and they are tremendous at play action, ladies and gentlemen. And so it's definitely funny because Tannehill legitimately has thrown 38% of his passes in play action alone. And so when he is in play action, he has a average yards per attempt of 11.4 yards, and when he is not, it is around 5.6, basically doubling. So clearly this team is very, very effective during play action by itself. And so here's the deal though with Tannehill, right? While he is a play action machine, only 5.8% of his passes have been over 20 yards. Just because they're in play action doesn't mean, and so that he expects his playmakers to go vertical. He's going to be really dialing in on those middle of the field type passes, those mid-range passes moving into it. So our secondary absolutely needs to be on their toes. And so what the Buffalo Bills need to do, we absolutely need to pressure Ryan Tannehill. When Dude Man is not being pressured, he is completing 77.9% of his passes. But when he is being pressured, he is only completing 37% of his passes. So, I mean, we are in desperate need of having our defensive ends really bullying that offensive line. They are relatively new. They don't have Conklin anymore. They still have Lewin. I'm not sure whether or not that he's healthy quite yet, but like this offensive line has been doing a pretty good job in protecting Tannehill thus far. But if we have ever needed our defensive line to show up, it has to be this game. And so really at the end of the day, say that I had the keys for the Buffalo Bills to go on ahead and dominate the Titans on a defensive standpoint. We're absolutely going to need our defensive line to show up. We're going to have to pressure the hell out of Ryan Tannehill, and we're going to have to stop Derrick Henry as much as we possibly can. I mean, like this type of running back, we're going to need multiple DBs, multiple linebackers just to bring this dude down. So I really hope that Sean McDermott has a defensive game plan to halt this offense. And so now it's only fair just to turn to our savior, and that just so happens to be the Buffalo Bills offense. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Finally, for the first time in years, the Buffalo Bills fans are relying on their offense to win them games. I do feel like our defense will show up, but that's beyond the point. We're facing not only a very sick Titans defense, and not sick from the figurative standpoint, but the literal standpoint. I mean, they are losing a lot of players, specifically two defensive linemen right in the interior who were absolute studs. And so both of them will not be able to play. Say that this happens like in the remote future, whether or not that it's Sunday, Monday, or Tuesday. So there's going to be some clear weaknesses. And so I'm almost hesitant to say run the damn ball, but I think if there's any game that we need to run the damn ball, it has to be that, to punish the hell out of that defensive line. Now, we are going up against this Tennessee Titans defense even when they were healthy, they were toward the bottom of the league in just about everything. And so this averages 24.7 points per game. They've only had 4 sacks the entire year. They're allowing 422 yards per game in total offense, 166 right on the ground per average, and 256 pass yards. So, I mean, really at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, I think that this is going to be an overall domination when the Buffalo Bills is going up against this defense. Now, don't get me wrong, we are going to be having to go up against their defensive ends, including Jadeveon Clowney. But, I mean, realistically, it seems like since Josh Allen has addressed his issue from 2019 of being unable to sort of deal with pressure, as soon as when he gets Stephon Diggs, he seems to be his answer each and every single time. And, I mean, realistically, with that chemistry they've already ended up putting together, I am completely confident. And right to another point, their slot corner is going to be out with COVID once again, meaning that they are about to be having a 7th round rookie. Definitely be on the lookout for Cole Beasley to have a monster game. I do think that they're going to be switching receivers around a little bit. There might be a couple of times where Diggs will play out of the slot. There might be a couple of times where you'll see Gabe Davis. There might be a couple of times where you see Cole Beasley, but be on the lookout for that matchup because Josh Allen is about to pick on that poor guy with as many snaps as possible. And so realistically, ladies and gentlemen, I do see the Buffalo Bills winning this game in general. And to be honest with you, I really wasn't afraid of the Titans, say that they were 100% healthy, especially once you compare our offense against their defense. There's just matchups galore over there, and I have a feeling that the way that we've been operating, we should be able to make light work out of them. However, when it comes to our defense going up against their offense, get this, ladies and gentlemen, we're not playing Marcus Mariota this time, and so we're playing Ryan Tannehill. So I think it's going to be a shootout for the most part, and I'm really hoping that our defense can create at least 1 or 2 turnovers and really give us the edge so we can run away with it. As far as the final score prediction is concerned, I have the Bills winning 35-31. Do me a favor and comment your final score prediction. Say that this game actually happens. I would be really interested to see what you think is going to happen. Don Mafia, thank you so much for tuning in to yet another edition of the Don Mafia Report. In case you haven't seen yet, I did end up bringing my podcast to my YouTube channel. My most recent upload, I interviewed Takeo Spikes with my co-host, former safety, Mr. Aaron Williams. Great podcast, so say that you wanted to check that out. I would highly appreciate it. We had a fantastic conversation. If you're new here, my name is Dan Mitchell. I regularly put out Buffalo Bills content and NFL content. If that's your cup of tea, smash that subscribe button, join the family, smash the out of that like button, and before I let you go, always remember, let's go Buffalo.